Fine, good afternoon to you all students. Hi students, how are you? I hope you all are fine. Students, have you all studied till yesterday's portion? So yesterday I asked you to write some programs. What are the programs I taught? So I asked you to write either in your notebook or in a paper. Have you all written? Students, have you all written? So what are the things I asked you to write as a assignment or as a homework? Please write it. When the school reopens, I asked you to submit. Okay. So what are things I asked you to write? Each and everything is very, very important questions. Okay. So please don't ignore. Okay. Write it. Study and write it. Okay. So welcome to our today's online class students. Students, all of you take your computer textbooks in your hand. Please, all of you take your computer textbooks in your hand. So, have you all taken? Sit in a place. So, take your mobile phones. Please listen the class, okay? So, now we are studying about chapter 6. What's the chapter name? Chapter 6, Control Structures. So, what are the things you have studied in control structures? What are the statements you have studied? Alternative statements, sequential statements, iteration and looping statement. Isn't it? So, yesterday I have taught about iteration or looping statement. Isn't it? So, in that, so before we are going to study about today's class, just recall what are things. So, I have taught at the yesterday. Okay. So, in looping statements, you have studied two types of loops. Isn't it? What are the loops yesterday I have taught? For loop as well as while loop. So, both loop we are calling as an entry check loop. Why we are calling as an entry check loop? Both the loops will check the condition at the top or entry point of the program. So we are calling as an entry check loop. So another one important thing, so you have studied yesterday. So in for loop, instead of using iteration, that means I equal to 0, initial value, increment value, conditional value, you are using one important function we are calling as an which one? Range of function. Isn't it? Range of function. So yesterday you have studied thorough about range of function. So what's the syntax of range of function? Starting value, stop value, step value. Isn't it? So two example programs I have taught. So today also we are going to study about the same range of function, another one program they have given. Okay. Example in your book textbook also same program they have given. So listen carefully. Okay. So first program we are going to calculate sum of the first 100 numbers. Okay. What's the first program? We are going to calculate sum of first 100 numbers. Okay. So how many numbers you are going to calculate? Sum till 100. 1 to 100. Okay. So for that I am giving one variable n equal to 100. Okay. That means 100 times. You are going to calculate 1 to 100. So how many times will be there? 1 to 100. That means 99. So n equal to 100. That's the initial values I am giving. Then sum. So what do you mean by sum? You are adding, isn't it, first 100 natural numbers. In maths you have studied sum of first 10 natural numbers, first 50 natural numbers. Same only. Okay. So here we are going to calculate first 100 100 natural numbers. So up to the terms is n equal to 100. Sum, the initialized value I am giving sum equal to 0. So before we are adding, what's the initial value? Sum equal to 0. Whether any other value will be there for sum? No. Next, so for counter in range of function. So here how many values will be there? Starting value and ending value. Only two values. 1 comma n plus 1. So what's the start value? Start value is 1. N plus 1. What's the meaning? Each time it will get incremented with the value of n. Okay. For example, first value 1. Second n plus 1. 1 plus 1. 2. Then 2 plus 3. 3 plus 1. 4. 4 plus 1, 5. 5 plus 6. Likewise, it will get increment. That's a counter in range of 1, n plus 1. Understand? Next, what's the aim of our program? We are going to add first 100 numbers. For that, listen, we are giving one formula. Sum equal to sum plus counter. What's the meaning of that one means? Sum. What's the initial value of sum? 0. That's sum plus counter. Counter means this. Here, whatever values you are getting, you are going to adding with this value to the sum value. Understand? So, here, for example, the initial value you are giving us a sum equal to 0. 0 is the initial value of sum. So, what's the value of sum here? 0 plus counter. Counter means what value you will get? 1, n plus 1. For example, 1 plus 1, 2. So, 0 plus 2, for example, first value 1. 0 plus 1, 1. Next, 1 plus 1, 2. So, here what value you will get? 1 plus 2, 3. Likewise, each values it will get added. Okay. So, it will get added till how much? N equal to 100. Understand? Then, so now we are calculated the sum also. Now, what's the next step? You are going to print the result. So, you are going to print what is the sum of 1 or sum of 100 until what's the meaning of percentage dim? So, percentage of means float numbers. So, here we are giving what? Numbers. So, you are giving what? That means decimal numbers. Okay, percentage D. Okay, percentage D, decimal number. So, percentage, what are the numbers you need to print? N, that means number of times. Until number of times 100, the answer will be stored in which variable? Sum. So, you need to print number of times, sum. Understand? So, once again I am explaining. So, first we are going to adding first 100 natural numbers. For that, the initial value I am giving, that means 100 times. For initial value of sum, you are assigning as a 0. So, inside for loop, we are giving which function? Range of function, 2 values. What are the starting value and ending value? 1, n plus 1. So, 1, what's the value of n first? 1 plus 1, 2. 2 plus 1, 3. Likewise, you have given. Next, you are going to add the values using the formula sum equal to sum plus counter. So, what's the initial value of sum? 0 plus counter. In counter value, what value will get? N plus 1. For example, 1 plus 1, 2. Next, 2 plus 1, 3. Likewise, each value will get incremented till 100. So, it will add and the result you are stored in which variable? Sum. So, you are going to print sum of 100 numbers. So, why we are giving percentage D? Decimal. That means the numbers you are going to print. For that, we are giving percentage D. Okay. So, which variable you need to print? The answer is given in the variable sum. So, you are going to print n, sum. That the sum of number of times, the answer. Understand? So, listen. What output you will get? Sum of 1 until percentage D. What's the percentage D? That means 100 terms. 100 terms is how much you will get? The answer. Answer is 5050. 5050. Understand? Understand the first program? Yes. Yes. Then second program, listen. Second program also we are using the range of function. Okay. Till now we have studied about numbers or integers using range of function. But here we are going to study the range of function for strings or word. Okay. So range of function can be able to be used for numbers as well as strings. Okay. What do you mean by string? Collection of characters we are calling as a strings, isn't it? So listen, which loop we are giving? Last program also I explained in for loop. This program also I explained in for loop. Okay. So for I am giving one variable called word. In what the word I am giving? Computer. Okay, what the word I am giving? Computer. So this is a simple program only. Okay, print word. So what are the things you are giving input in the word? You are going to print the word as a output. Okay, so for word in computer, print word, end. Then else you are giving print end of the loop. So here you are giving any other thing, any other conditions? No. So what output you will get? listen, inside the for loop, so print, it will execute word. What's the word? In word, what input you are giving? The word is a computer. So first output you will get is a computer. Then it will come to else. So else block, what it will get? End of the loop. So here you are not giving any of the condition. So both true part as well as else part will execute and the word you are getting as an output. Understand? Understand? So two programs you have studied. This program is a very simplest program, nothing but you are giving one word and giving us a input and printing that word as a output. Okay. Next we are going to study about nested loop structure. Okay. So last year you have studied about nested. What do you mean by nested? So just to think, what do you mean by nested? Nested means one inside another. Okay. So now we are nested loop. So what becomes one inside another? One loop is placed inside another loop. Understand? One loop is placed inside another one loop. We are calling as which loop structure? Nested loop structure. Okay. So what are the loops you have studied? How many types of loops you have studied? Two. For loop as well as while loop. So inside the for loop you can able to use another one for loop. That is called nested for loop. Inside the one while loop you can use another one while loop. That is called nested while loop. So this kind of loops inside another one loop we are calling as which loop? Nested loop structure. Understand? Very important question. Nested loop last year also you have studied. So what do you mean by nested? So you are using loop inside one another. Meaning of nested means normally one inside another. So here nested loop. So you are using one loop inside another loop. So how many loops you have studied? Two. What are they? For loop as well as while loop. So placing one while loop inside another one while loop we are calling as a nested while loop. Similarly, placing inside for loop another one for loop you are placing means that we are calling as a nested for loop. Understand? So listen, this is a very important program. Okay, again and again I am telling, last year also they have asked this program. Okay, so last in 11th standard also you might have studied. Okay, so listen, what are the things they have asked like this means this is the pattern. So same program they have asked in 4 different ways. Okay, so if you study this program means you can able to write that 4 programs. Okay, I'm telling sometimes they will give instead of this one A, B, ABC, 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 D, E. Okay, sometimes they will give 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one. Sometimes in this place they will give star symbol, star, otherwise hash symbol. Otherwise computer, C, CO, COM, COMPU, COMPU, TER. Okay, but the patterns become same. So if you study this program means you can able to write that one. Okay, so please listen carefully. Very important question. Last time they asked the program for 5 mark question also, this one. Mostly they will ask 3 mark question. Sometimes they will ask for 5 mark questions also. So listen carefully. Okay, very important program. So in this question they have given, you need to print the patterns like this using for loop. Okay, so what's the question? You need to print the pattern like this using which loop? For loop. Okay, so listen carefully. Very important as well as very easy also. Okay, so what's the starting value? What's the starting value? 1, isn't it? So you need to declare one variable. What's the variable I am giving? I. First step is you need to give the starting value. So I equal to what's the starting value? 1. I equal to 1. Understand? Next thing. While I less than or equal to 6. Y means, listen, here how many values will be? What's the last value? What's the last value? 5. So in range of function you have studied, always the last value will be taking n minus 1. That means last value minus 1. So if you give 6 means only, it will print up to 5. That means 6 minus 1, 5. Understand why they have given less than or equal to 6? That means always inside the range of function in for loop, always it will take the values, last value minus 1, n minus 1. That means if you give 6 means it will print up to 5. In this place, if you give 5 means you will get the output up to this only. Why? 5 minus 1, 4. Understand? Sometimes for 2 mark question they have given up to this 1, 2, 3 means you need to give up to 3 means you need to give 4. For example, 10 means in this place you need to give 11. Understand? That means last value minus 1. So only we are giving the next number. I less than or equal to 6. Understand? Next, we are going to print this pattern. For that, for another one variable I am giving inside the for loop. Okay. So here, how many loops you are using? 2 loops. Listen, inside the while loop, I am using another one loop called for loop. So we are calling as an which loop? This one is a nested loop. Understand? Inside the while loop, we are using another one for loop. So we are calling this as an which loop? Nested loop. Okay. So understand what I mean by nested loop? 2 loops you are using. That means one loop inside another one loop you are using. So for that I am declaring another one variable called what? J. Okay. So inside the range of function I am giving. So to print like this pattern, we are giving inside which function? Range of function under the which loop? For loop. So for j in range of, so from where you need to print the starting value is 1. Range of function, what are the values it will be there? Start as well as end value. Step value is optional. So start value starting from 1, comma, what? I. So how many times it will print? Less than or equal to 6. That means till 5 it will print. First 1, second value 1, comma 2, then 1, comma 2, comma 1, comma 2, comma 3, then 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4. So how it will print means, listen. So I am giving what? 1, comma I. That means each time the value will be added here. Next. So next line you need to print which variable? J. Whether you need to print I or J? J. Why? So this condition, the 2, 1, comma I. That means 1, comma 1, 1, comma, 1, comma 2, 1, comma 3. So each and everything will come inside the variable J. So you need to print which variable? J. So n backslash t. That means at the end of the line automatically it will move to the next line. Break. Okay. So next. Then print. That means listen, backslash t. So each becomes so backslash t means, listen, there will be a space between each numbers. Okay, isn't it? So for example, 1 space next, then 1 space 2, 1 space 3, 1 space 4. Likewise, that is backslash t. Then print backslash n. Backslash n means automatically completion of first line, it will move to the next new line. Backslash t means tab. It will leave some space between the particular numbers. Backslash n means automatically it will move to the next line. Okay, then I plus equal to 1. What's the meaning? Each time the value will get incremented. So, till how much it will get incremented? The value less than or equal to 6. That means till 5. I first value is 1. Then 1 plus 1, 2. Then 1 plus 2, 3. 3 plus 1, 4. Till 5 it will print. And it's a very, very important program. Again and again I am telling. So, for this pattern, like this, if you need to print means, what are the things you need to give? Y equal to, first y equal to 1, starting value. Then while loop up to the last number 5 means you need to give 6. That means n minus 1. Then next I am going to declare another one variable called j in range of what are the value? 1, comma I. Here only the value will get incremented. First you need to print the variable j. So you need to give backslash, that means space. Then print backslash n. So automatically it will move to the next line. Then I plus equal to 1. Each time the value will get incremented. Understand? So if you execute this program, so you will get the output like this. Understand? Very, very, very important program. After completion of this session, please study this program. Okay, very important program. Next topic is jump statements in Python. Okay, so what's the next topic? Jump statement. So, what's the meaning of jump? Normally, what's the meaning of jump? So, so here jump means you will flow somewhat high, isn't it? Jump. So here, jump statements means the control will, in a program, the control will flow from one part of the program to some other part. Okay. So what's the use of the very, very important 2 mark question, jump statement? So what's the use of jump state? When they will use jump statement means the control of the, for example, you need to transfer the control from one part to another part means we will use which statement? Jump statement. Okay, for example, 50 lines program you are going to run. In that 50 lines program, so after the 25th line, you need to execute the 30th line. In between the 5 lines, no need to execute. Okay, so the control will flow from directly 25th to 30th line. So that kind of flow of control, we are using the statement called as jump statement. Okay, when we will use jump statement is mainly used to transfer the control from one part of the program to the next part of the, for example, in a same program, some part of the lines no need to execute. So at that time, the control will automatically flows to or jump to one statement to some other part. So that statement we are calling as an which statement? Jump statement. Understand? So for jump statement, there are 3 keywords are there. Okay, very, very important question. So, how many keywords are there for jump statement? 3. What are they? Break, continue and pass. Okay, this also last year you have studied. Are you remembering? So, how many statements, how many keywords are there for jump statements? 3. What are they? Break, continue and pass. Understand? So, first we are going to study about break statement. Okay, so what's the use of break statement? Okay, so break means, normally what's the use of break? Break means terminate or exit. So break statement means if we give break inside the program means, so the program, while you are running the program will run immediately. If the program found the break statement in a place, the program will terminate at that place. Okay, after that the program will come outside of the loop. So remaining statements won't get executed. Understand? So what's the use of break statement? So break statement will terminate the loop or terminate whenever the break statement is found while you are compiling. Whenever the break statement is found by the compiler, in that place itself the program will get terminated. Remaining statements won't get executed. That's the use of which statement? Break statement. Understand? So listen, this is the flow chart for break statement. So each and every flow chart is very, very important. So study, okay? So listen. So first, so and also listen, flow chart, this arrow marks and all very, very important. So according to your wish, don't draw the arrow marks from here and there. So whatever things they have given in your textbooks as it is, you need to draw. Okay? So listen, first you are checking the condition. One condition you are giving. So if the condition is true means, listen, if the condition is true means, here lot of statements I am giving. Statement 1, statement 2, statement n. Okay. So if the condition is true means particular statements will execute. So first statement is executed, over. Then inside the first statement I am giving break. Understand, listen carefully. If the condition, one condition I am giving, so if the condition is true means these statements will get executed. So first statement executed, over. After the first statement, the compiler will found the break statement. What's the use of break statement I said? If the compiler will find break statement means immediately the program will terminate and come outside of the program. So listen, see the arrow mark. If the break statement is found by the compiler means immediately the program will come outside of the program. Remaining at the statements at the last program only execute, the loop won't get executed. Understand? Understand what do you mean by break statement? So whenever the break, if you are compiling the program, you are checking the condition. So the condition is true means inside the loop, the control will flow. So if the compiler found the break statement means at that place itself, the program come outside of the loop and execute the last program. Understand? If the break statement is not found means again it will check the condition. See this arrow mark? Have you all found out? If the condition, if the break is not there means again it will continue. Again it will continue the condition. If the statement is false means else part will execute. Have you understand the flow chart? If true means inside the true statement will execute. Inside the true statement break we have given. Break means immediately the control come outside of the program. And remaining if the break is not there means continue. The particular statement will continue again and again this loop will execute. If the condition is false means immediately the else part will execute. True part won't get executed. Understand? So what are the things I have explained? They have given in a theory part. Okay. So they are given what's the first point? Break statement terminates the loop containing which loop they have that break statement is there. Immediately if the break statement is found by the compiler or interpreter, so the break will loop will get terminate. Okay. Terminate means exit or close. So if the break statement is found means the program will flow from where to where? Next, outside of the loop. In that flow chart, I'll explain no. From that loop, it will come outside of the loop. Remaining statements only, it will execute. Okay. But in case of without break statement, in the case of for loop and while loop means, all the statements need to execute. If the condition is true means, true part will execute. Otherwise, it will check the condition false. But some places no need to check the conditions true part as well as else part. In that place we need to use this break statement. Understand? What's the use of break statement? What the advantage? So remaining part of the loop won't get executed. The time will get saved. So this is a time saving. Understand? That only they are giving. So instead of testing what? So this till the condition is tested false, the while loop or for loop will get iterate. But in the case of break statement, not like that. The transfer of control will flow from outside the loop. Okay. So if I inside the loop, nested loop, if we give the break statement means, for example, inside while loop or for loop means no problem. So it will directly come outside of the loop. Inside the nested loop, you are giving the break statement means. So inside the nested loop, if you are giving break statement means, so it will exit the innermost loop. That means among the two loops you are using that. For example, what do you mean by nested? One loop inside another loop. So that inside the loop, if you are using the break statement means innermost loop will get exit at the terminate first. Understand? So listen. So this is the working of break statement. First what it will do? So inside the loop you are checking the condition. So immediately it will find the break statement. If the break statement is found means see the arrow mark, immediately the control flow outside. Yes, exit the loop. Understand? So if the break statement found, immediately it will come outside of the loop. If if break statement not there means again the loop will execute. The condition will execute. If false means directly come outside of the loop. Okay. So what's the syntax of the break statement means? Syntax is break. Okay. What's the syntax? Break. This is the first jump statement. So listen. So this is the working how it will work. The break statement work inside the loop. So both while loop as well as if loop they have given the break statement. Okay. So this is a like a syntax they have given. One example for variable in sequence. Inside the for loop, listen, you are checking one condition. Inside the for loop, you are checking one condition. If break statement is there means immediately the program will come outside of the loop. See the arrow mark they have given code outside for loop. That means immediately if the break statement is there means the control will flow or come outside of the loop. So inside the loop won't get execute. Okay. Next while loop. Inside the while loop we are giving while you are testing one expression. So inside the while loop this is the nested loop. Inside the while loop we are giving one condition, if condition. So if the break break statement is there means immediately the control come outside of the loop. Understand? So they have given for both for loop as well as while loop. Understand the working of the break statement? So with one example program I'll explain, then only you will get understand. So listen carefully. So first program we are going to, this is simplest program, okay, using for loop you are going to check the break statement, okay, how the break statement will work in the for loop. Listen carefully, very easy and very important program also. So for one variable called word, what's variable name? Word. In I am giving one word. What's the word I am giving? Jump statement. Understand? So I am giving inside for one variable called word. Inside the word I am giving one sentence called jump statement. Okay. Listen. Next what it will do? Inside the for loop you need to check the condition. So what condition I am giving mean if this word, what are the word you have given? If word double equal to E means. For example, what's the meaning of that one means, if the letter E is found inside the word means, immediately the program will terminate at the word E and come outside of the loop. That's the meaning. Understand? If word double equal to E, what's the meaning means, if the letter E is found inside this word means, when the word E is founded by the compiler, so the control flow or jump outside of the loop. Okay, yes. Then next you are giving, that's the use of break. Okay, break. So you are giving break. Print, which one we need to print? Word. So end means inside this one it will print. So see the output. So it will execute. First it will take the word J. Whether the word is E, no. So it will print. Whether next word U, whether the word is E, no. So it will print. Likewise M, P. Stay, yes, next to the word yes, whether it will check E, no. Likewise, till STAT, each letters it will check with the word E, letter E. That letter is E or not. Next, it will find the letter. Till STAT, the printing is over. Next, it will come to the letter E. So, the word E is, the letter E is find out here. So, what's the use of break statement? Whenever the break statement is there, whenever the condition satisfied with the break statement, immediately the program come outside of the loop. So, whether the remaining part of the E will print? No. So, see the output, till STAT only it will print. So, because the word E is find here. So, remaining part won't get executed. The program will terminate the remaining parts. Understand? Understand the use of break statement? I will understand. Once again I am telling. So this is the simplest program. Okay. So inside for loop I am giving one variable called word. Inside that two words I am giving jump statement. Next I am going to check the condition. Inside the word the variable E will be there or not. Okay. So next I am giving break. If the letter E is found in the word means, so it will check with each letter. So I am printing the word. So while you are executing the program, the interpreter will check with each word. First letter E is there, second letter E is there, third letter. Likewise, each letter it will check. So, till whenever the E is fine. So, here STAT, after E is there, no. So, whenever the E is fine, the program will terminate till this. And remaining part won't get executed. It will come outside of the program. So, what's output? You will get JUMPSTAT. Understand? So, this is how many parts are there? Only one part. That means true part alone there. So, the same program they have given with else part also. Okay. So, same program, listen. So, it will print jump statement. So, after that, whether it will execute E up to till STAT. So, this part of the loop won't get executed. Then, automatically, it will come to outside of the loop. So, whether else part is printing? Think and say. So, inside the loop, what are the conditions you are giving? True part means you need to print till E. So, false means only it will control flows to the else part. So, this condition this program will execute means till this only it will print STAT. So, whether the else part is printing, see the output, whether else part is there? No. So, till this, the end of the loop, till this the loop is there. So, after this E, the control flow outside of the program. So, outside of the program, what the statement I have given? Print, end of the program. That program alone print. Understand the difference between this program and that program? So, whenever the condition is satisfied, the break statement is given, means that up to this only loop. Okay, so this loop remaining, the loop part won't get executed, the control flow outside of the program. So outside of the program I have given end of the program, that statement will print. Okay, so is it visible for you, the last statement, end of the program? So output is JUMP STAT till this print. So E is find out. So the control flow outside of the program, the else part won't get executed. Next end of the program will get us out. Understand? So if you have textbook in your hand, means please one time read it. Then only you will get. So while I am explaining, at that time you will get understand. While you are studying, so you will get forget. So now please one time read it. This and all very important programs. Okay. Have you all read? Yes. Next, second jump statement. What's the second jump statement? Continue statement. Okay, continue statement. So, continuous statement is somewhat different from the break statement. Okay, so break statement, what it will do? Whenever the word break is found out by the compiler in a program, remaining part won't get executed. Remaining part of the loop, that means remaining part of the loop won't get executed. Automatically the control flow come outside the loop. But continuous statement is not like that. Continue means if the condition is satisfied, it will skip that part alone. If their condition is satisfied, if that skip that part alone, the remaining part of the loop will execute. Or means next iteration will continue. Okay, one example I'll explain, then only you will get understand. Okay, so what's the difference between break statement and continue statement? So break statement means, so immediately it will break statement is found, means the program will terminate at the loop. But continue statement is not like that. The particular part only it will skip, remaining part of the loop it will execute. Understand? So the syntax of the continue statement is syntax continue. Okay, break statement, what's the syntax? Break. Continue means continue. So this is the flowchart for continue statement. Listen. So each and every flowchart, please differentiate and study. Then only you will get understand. Otherwise, surely you will get forget. Okay. Please understand and differentiate and study. Okay. So listen. So inside the loop, you are giving one condition or expression. You are checking one expression. So if the condition is true means, listen. The condition is true means inside I am giving the statement continue. Okay, so true means, listen, so their break statement means the continue true means what? Automatically the control flow outside of the loop. But here not like that. Condition is true means again it will execute the remaining part of the loop. Only see, the remaining part of the loop will execute. Otherwise false means remaining, that means only that part alone it will skip. The remaining body of the loop will execute again and again. Understand? So you are checking some expression. So inside that condition you are giving continue. Continue means if the condition is satisfied means that part alone what skip. That means remaining body of the loop alone skip and the remaining portions will be executed. If the condition is false means automatically the control the flow outside of the program. Understand? So with example program I will explain, then only you will get understand. So this is the syntax or one example pseudocode for what? This continue statement inside for and while loop. Okay. So same only, last break statement you have studied, no? Same thing only. So inside if condition for I am giving one variable, for one variable in sequence I am giving. So this and all command line, no need to study. Okay. The line start with hash symbol is a command line, no need to study. So inside the if condition I am giving which word, which keyword? Continue. So in break statement, listen, the control flow outside, the arrow mark will be pointed down. So differentiate. Translate. If you have textbooks means please take that page and see it. For break statement, the arrow mark will point toward down. What's the meaning? Break statement is there means automatically come outside of the loop. But if the continue statement is there means only that part alone skip, again the statement will execute. That means inside the loop, the remaining part of the program will get execute. Understand? This is we are giving inside for loop. Similar in while loop also, if the you are giving continue keyword. So if the condition is true means again that part alone skip, remaining part of the program will execute or remaining part of the loop will get execute. Understand the difference between continue and break statement? Yes. So see this program, then only you will get understand. So listen carefully, then only you can able to study. If you understand this program means only you can able to study the what theory part. Okay, listen. So we are going to illustrate using this program with continuous statement. Okay, the same program for I am giving one, what's the variable here? Word. Inside the word I am giving jump statement. Same program only. But if word double equal to E, same condition. So we are checking the word E is present in the particular word or not. But what keyword you are giving? Instead of break you are giving continue. Continue. So you need to, next time we are going to print the word. Same. So what's the word? This word you need to print. Next I am giving end of the program. Listen. See the output. What's the condition means? Likewise, the same break statement, it will check. First letter, it will check whether the letter is E. No. So it will print J. Next, the letter is E. No. So it will print U. Second, the letter is not E. So it will print M. Next, the letter is not E. So P. Next, it will come S. The letter is not S. Likewise, T, A, T. So when it will come to the letter E, so that condition is true. Isn't it? The word is E. So it will get. So if the condition is true means that part alone it will skip. The particular word won't get print. See the output whether the word E is there. No. So next it will print. So it will skip the particular part alone, that word alone. Then it will move to the next letter. Next letter also E is there. So it will skip the letter E. Next it will move to the next. So the E is not there. Understand? Then the remaining part of the program. What's the remaining part? End of the program. Remaining part you are giving in the print statement as the end of the program. But in your book they have given, whether it is correct or not I don't know. In your book they have given the output as a wrong. Okay. So please note it down. If you have textbook, please take the textbook. In the continuous statement, this is the correct output. Okay. Note it. So last year textbooks they have given the same word as output, that's wrong. This is the correct output. Okay. The E won't come in the output. JUMP, STAT, the E won't come in the output. Please correct it, okay? Have you all corrected? So now understand the difference between break statement and continuous statement. Break statement means whenever the condition is satisfied. The word is E means after won't get execute. But in continuous statement means whenever it will find the condition true or here the condition is E. So word E is there means that word alone it will skip. Remaining portions it will execute. Understand the difference between break and statement? Yes. Listen, next one is past statement. Okay. So this we can continue in the next class. Okay, time is not there. So only this past statement alone, this topic alone, they are remaining for this chapter. So after this chapter, I'll mark question answers for this one. So I have completed till continue statement. So very important chapter also. So this and all very basics program. So after completion of this session, please study. What's the homework for you today means. So what are things I have taught today? That 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That program is very important. You should study and write this program as a assignment. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That program is important. You should write as an assignment. Remaining things. What are the break statement program and jump statement program. So you should study and write as a homework today. Okay, so don't skip any portions. Please study well. Thank you, students. Thank you. Remaining portions will continue from the next class. Okay, thank you, students.